Hey guys, we're going to be doing another deck guide today. This time it's on U-White Karn. This is a best of 3 list. I know that's weird. Usually I do best of 1 for Historic with the new Amonkhet Remastered cards. Today we're going to be going over like what the deck's goals are, matchups, sideboarding, and then also we're going to be having some gameplay. Now, if you're interested in just jumping into the gameplay, seeing how it fares against some of the meta, we have a timestamp down below. You can just click on it for gameplay, and that'll bring you right to the matchup against Field of the Dead. We faced off against another streamer named Card Counter Chris, and he was running Sultai Field of the Dead. So just click on the timestamps, boop, if you want to listen to the explanation. Here we go. So we're going to dig right into the list. What are the goals of the list? We usually use like pretty cheap spells to kind of get ourselves going. Omen of the Sea to hit land drops, one of Veto, just kind of like, just in case, catch out a like a Nissa or something, or an Hour of Promise. 4 Mind Stones, 3 Gideons, 2 Absorbs. See here, I felt like the Absorb was a little bit better overall than Veto, because it gains us life for 1, and then for 2, it allows us to counter stuff like Golos and other creatures, maybe Questing Beast after a board wipe, something like that. And then we've also got a 1 of Elspeths. This is also just some life gain. I like to tether a little bit of life gain because there are some tricky like burn lists here and there, so I like that. Settle, this is mainly here for U-White Auras, just being able to boop them game 1, and they can't usually recover from that too well. So they typically they might not play around Settle. It's not something that's super common. But maybe since we're showing you white, they do play around it, and who cares? Like, we just have to do our best and try for it anyway. Wrath is pretty decent. Like, we're able to just hit the board really hard. The problem with this is like there's a lot of indestructible in the meta, which is why I've been liking like Grixis or any type of control list with red. So that way we can Sweltering Suns or Anger of the Gods to exile. Sweeping on 3 is still really good, especially against goblins. But this list feels okay so far. I've been enjoying it, and I plan on tweaking the numbers a little. Originally, I had 2 Sphinxes in here. I scrapped one of them for a Chemisters just for some early game draw, because sometimes we just need to draw 2, find that Wrath for turn 5, or turn 4 because we Mind Stoned, just if we ramped up. It's kind of nice. The 3 Karns, so we have a sideboard that we're going to be going over, but basically you can -2 this, grab like a Glass Casket, grab Graph Diggers, etc. It's just a really versatile card that shuts off a lot of Jund Food's tools, and it shuts off Golos. It also shuts off opposing Mind Stones as well, because it doesn't say non-mana abilities, it just makes it so they can't activate it, period. They can't draw a card, etc. They can draw a card in response to you playing Karn, and that's about it. After he's actually resolved, though, boop, it's over. 2 Teferis, secondary win con, some draw power, some utility with untapping lands, maybe being able to scry twice with Vantress or make 2 dudes with Ardent Veil, etc. It's just really nice. -3 Tuck can get around a lot of stuff too. Indestructibility, for example. So you can do that on the Aura stack potentially if they don't have the protection dude, bro. The Elcid, something like that. The 1 drop that can give them protection. 3 Approach, this is the primary win con of the deck. I like 3 because 2 felt really inconsistent. Just both of them can be on bottom, etc. And also the chances of you having 2 of these in your hand versus like aggro or something, or mid-range, like where you're not going to get like, even like being able to play around Thoughtseize and stuff. Having extra copies means that you're not just out of it when one of these or both of these get Thoughtseized. Especially where it's hard to kind of reset the graveyard a little bit. And then the 1 of Sphinx's Revelation. And then we'll go over budget options in a second, but that's basically the idea, is just play out your dudes. Gideon as a win con as well as Approach and Teferi, and then you just have a utility sideboard here. You can get Aether Spellbomb versus like U-White Auras to bounce. Since it's colorless, they can't give it protection from colorless. You can get Glass Caskets, Cage for anyone running Coco, Collected Army here. I think I have to turn on green here. Yeah, Collected Army. So like this stops this card as well. So for 5 mana, you can stop that. And if you have a Mind Stone ramp, it's nice because you can just bring it out. This blows up Field of the Dead tokens for 4 mana if you have to cast Karn for 4 and then crack this for 0. It's very nice. And then you've got just Crucible of Worlds, Field of the Dead is our best answer to Field. It's a little dirtly, but sometimes we can win versus Field of the Dead anyway, even if they swarm us a little. And then we've got Settle for some more aggro matchups for goblins, etc. Like, it's just nice to be able to have more answers to creatures anyway. Parhelion here. So we're kind of going over the sideboard before the matchups and everything else, but that's fine. It's okay to be a bit scattered. So that's the deck's goal. The cute combination here is Gideon 0 for the emblem, and then you have Pact of Negation, so that way you don't have to pay for the 5 mana. And if anything, it's still nice to be able to develop Approach, hold the Pact back in case your opponent goes to lethal you, and then pay for the mana and then wait a turn or two to be able to get Approach rolling. Considerations for the deck in regards to different options and whatnot. Well, like, I guess we can go over budget options and other options for the deck just in general. I would say 2 vetoes is probably fine, and then you can find room for another artifact or another sideboard card here. 2-2 split would be fine, or 2-3 split, or 3-2 split. Just depends on what you're comfortable with. So far this has been working though. Other considerations like Supreme Will is okay. Like, it lets you search for Approach a little bit easier to get through 4 cards, digs you deeper. Maybe find your second copy of Approach or your third copy, depending on like how many you've seen. You could also run Ops instead of the Omens. Personally, I like being able to use the Mind Stone mana for this. Like, that's just sort of nice on top of holding up a veto with my other mana. Something I will mention is that the Mind Stones and the Absorbs don't play well together, but you still need the ramp for your board wipes, basically, and to get Approach 1 turn earlier, because that's huge. Simulacrum, sort of. I've been humoring the idea of it. It's just not great, especially when we're trying to Field of Ruin and Crucible later on. We also have Blast Zone. The mana base for this is pretty good. I think absorbs that like 86% on MTG on curve, I believe the last time I checked it. So those are some options like Supreme Will, more vetoes. There's a lot of considerations for the list, honestly, like dropping the Teferis for something else. I've been trying to splash like black for Thoughtseize and maybe red for like Narset of the Ancient Way, etc. Like, there's so many options that you can just kind of splash for. So just a strict upgrade to the deck if you're not struggling with wild cards at all. The irrigated land, irrigated here, this is just strictly a better land for this deck than the Triome here, because this cycles for 3 and we don't use the red mana for anything. It just kind of trolls the opponent. But this is just better. It cycles for 2 and it still taps for the 2 colors you want. So straight up just replace those if you're not on a budget, you know? And you don't need the Sphinx's Revelation if you're on a budget, and you can get away with 2 approaches probably. If you want to just include some Supreme Wills and other Chemist's Insight instead of the Sphinx's. Doesn't gain you life, but it still serves the purpose of drawing cards and getting to your outs. It's kind of nice. So just things like that are really important. You don't need the Elspeth either. You could replace this with like anything, like Third Settle, etc. Gideons and the packs are pretty required, but you could drop the packs down to 2 if you wanted to, if you're on a budget too. They're not really that necessary. I just love having the extra win con and insurance against counterspell decks as well. And sometimes against Flash, you can go like Wrath of God, Pact of Negation, etc. Like, it just helps the deck flow. This is also really good to cash in on later on when you're just digging and digging and digging. Search for Azcanta. Been up in the air about this because almost every single Field of the Dead deck is running Field of Ruin, which blows up Azcanta, and even other decks like Sultai, just regular Sultai ramp, etc. Like, from what I've seen, Esper, they all run Field of Ruins to tech for Field of the Dead. So if everyone's teching for that, then that means Azcanta's kind of bad too. It's like a really, really, really delayed, like, search your deck for the top 4 cards. You get like 1 proc and then that's it. And it's just prolonged so much for you to get that value. So typically speaking, I like the Omen a little bit more because I can be like, boop, cast it out while holding up a veto or absorb, and then kind of get my value anyway, rather than, you know, worrying about my Azcanta getting Field of Ruin. Instead of Karn, you could do something like Fae of Wishes if you're struggling on wild cards and you don't have Karn Great Creator. But the reason why he's good is because he can get Aether Spellbomb versus UI auras, it get graph diggers against collected company, etc. Like it's just really nice. The toolbox for Karn feels really, really great right now. I love it. So I've been enjoying this a lot. Instead of Elspeth, also we could go like 2 regular Karns, like these Karns, and that would give us another way of winning the game too. Like this is also a win con, especially since we have like Mind Stones and synergy with the other Karn. That could be really interesting. Like drop this, drop Revelation, drop a Teferi or something, and that could be interesting, especially since you can ramp into him pretty easily with the Mind Stone. I love that. So that's also another option if you want to take it in another direction. I might actually experiment with that. This is the list that I'm probably bringing to the Hooglandia Open tomorrow. I might tweak it a little, but I'm not sure. I have to register my deck pretty soon. But anyway, good matchups, bad matchups. Field of the Dead, I think we're kind of even. It depends on how many Hour of Promises we get to counter. And if we can get the Crucible Field of Ruin combination going for ourselves. There's also the possibility that we're supposed to like, no, I don't think we're supposed to run like Golos plus the Crucible land. I think that would just ruin us financially. Just being able to tutor out lands is pretty nice though. I think that's more of like an Esper thing though, where we'd have ECD to cast off of it. Like we have too many counters in this list to really be driven toward the whole Golos value thing. If we're instead like gonna go cascading like this thing for Golos activation, like it's pretty nice, but I don't think it's required for our list, and we don't ramp hard enough for it. Mind Stones are only ramp, and that's not good enough to warrant this plus Golos. Just being able to tutor out this land is nice. Blast Zone, good thing against aggro, so good bad matchups. Goblins, I think we do okay against, especially post sideboard. We can bring in 1 Graph Diggers, we can bring in an extra board wipe, and we have Caskets, so we can usually slow them down in time to be able to Wrath and then make it so they don't really have a lot going for them, which is nice. Also the life gain from Azorius, etc., and they have to deal with Gideon plus Pact of Negation stuff and Settle the Wreckage, so it's just a lot for them to consider. And we gain a lot of life with Approach, and that's a pretty fast win con, especially if we have 2 copies. So I think we do okay there. What else is there? Like Sultai, Field of the Dead we went over. I think it's kind of even, and our sideboard's pretty good against it, like with the extra vetoes for Hour of Promise. Hour of Promise. I'll go ahead and show that card off. Like it gets you 2 Field of the Deads, basically, if you're not familiar with the new set. What else is popular and historic? Like Bant Spirits is rough, but it's winnable. I actually won against Card Counter Chris while he was piloting that as well, but I can't include all of the footage. I might have a highlight on my Twitch a bit later if you guys want to check that out. Maybe I'll put a link down below. But yeah, that's pretty much most of the matchups. There's a lot of stuff that I'm missing. I'm really, really tired. This is like the 3rd day in a row where I've recorded a YouTube video after my stream, and it's been rough. Usually I do it like 3 videos in one day, but anyway. YouTube. Oh yeah, Jund Food. I think we're okay against Jund Food too because of the Karn tech and just having a lot of answers to their stuff. Like we can Wrath, etc., and we can Graph Diggers their graveyards. They can't get much back. I would say like having a one of instead of maybe Parhelion as a win con, because the way that this works is you Karn +1, and then you animate this because it's not a creature yet. Then it becomes a 5. Then it becomes like a 6, 7, 8, 8 creature, I think, because it's equal to its mana cost. That overwrites its original stats, I believe, is how that works. And then you swing through, and you hit for like 8 or whatever. And then you make angels, and then those can animate this from then on if you need to grab stuff with Karn to also answer what your opponent's doing. So it's like an alternative win con in case these get Necromentia'd by like Chromatic Black or something. Chromatic Black's more popular in Best of 1, but still an example. But I would say like you could include like a Crypt for a 0 mana cost card to deal with the graveyard instantly, and I think that would be worth it. I just don't know what I would sacrifice. Tough call. It's a tight list. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers most of it. The sideboarding, you just bring in vetoes when it's necessary, usually against control. You only bring in 2 caskets or 1 cage versus Rakdos because you want to be able to fetch the stuff with Karn. That makes sense. You want to leave your copies of like Spell bomb, you want to do ratchet bomb, all of this stuff. The Narset's reversal is just for thought distortion, so people have to respect it in the open tomorrow. That's all I have it in here for. And it's really cool because you can combo it with your approach. So you cast your approach and you have 2 extra blue mana open, right? Make sure you tap your Mind Stones as you're doing this. That way you have blue mana open. So tap Mind Stone, tap the rest of your mana, boop. And then for 7, 8, 9 mana, right? 2 blue open. Then you can bounce this back to your hand. You cast your first approach, and then you bounce it. The copy goes off, just gains you a bunch of life. You gain 14 life from it. But you don't win the game because you didn't cast the second copy from your hand, right? So then you just play the approach next turn. And this is pretty susceptible to like, Thoughtseize, etc. But if you have extra copies in your deck, it doesn't really matter. And if it goes off, you win. And then the idea is like, this can do well against Thoughtseize. It's really expensive against Thoughtseize, but it still works. Like it's not dead early game is what I'm trying to say against the decks that would bring in Thought Distortion. And if you get to do this against Thought Distortion, you feel like the best. You're just the best in the world for a minute. So that's nice. That's what I usually would bring this in against, is Thought Distortions. And then just 2 Caskets, bring in the 3 vetoes if you can against control, even against Field of the Dead, so you can stop their Hour of Promise and their Eugenes and such. Eugene, I mean like Ugin Spirit Dragon, this guy. And other planeswalkers they might be running. So that's pretty much the tech there. That's when you bring those in when they're pretty necessary. It's pretty easy. It's easier to sideboard with this deck than other lists because half of your list is dedicated to Karn. So people just getting into best of 3, really good deck to start with because there's very minimal sideboarding and you can kind of think about other stuff like just the gameplay in front of you, which is important. So yeah, let's jump into the gameplay. We got Field of the Dead here. And also there's an exportable list. I should have said that back then if you just want to do that. So that being said, let's roll the gameplay. I do like the idea of this list. I just feel like I'm a little soft to like Field of the Dead, basically. If I don't see Field of Ruin, I get ruined. I might be able to combo off fast enough with like approach, but it's hit or miss. This looks okay against aggro, and really bad against everything else. I don't think I need that this early. Oh, this might be the Golos list, or just Simic Ramp. No, it can't be Simic Ramp. This smells like Golos, though. Very smelly. This is indestructible. Just use Field of Ruin against that dude. But I have to play this if I want to absorb. I can hold that up. Because we can absorb the Nissa, and that's nice. Field of Ruin? Okay. I mean, I have enough basics for that. Can't really let that go through, though. Field of the Dead is okay. Like, Field of Ruin is okay. But they're just gonna Field of Ruin my Field of Ruin, so that's not really great. Also, this isn't really great for me either. Like, this is not a good look. Now they can just Field of Ruin my castle. I mean, I do need approach. I bet if I double top this, they Field of Ruin me, end of turn. Oh no, they didn't set the stop. It did not work. Go Glacial Fortress and chill. I mean, it's Field of the Dead, so I can pretty much get them there with the, Okay, so there's Field of the Dead. Golos. Oof, this is pretty rough, because they get second Field of the Dead here. I need Karn. is fine. Oof. This is kind of rough, because I don't want them to be able to Field of Ruin my other stuff either. Actually, I should have done the Wrath last, I guess. Like Field of Ruin first and then Wrath. That was bad order. Fate 2. A lot of Junsack. Yeah, I'm teched against Junsack for the most part. Like I do okay against it. Not the greatest matchup ever, but it's okay. They might Field of Ruin my Vantress so I don't get another Scry. Trying to see if they can do anything else, like play Rejuvenator, or maybe... I think they're just getting more fodder for Uro as well. So now if I draw Approach, I win. How did the other deck go? Everything's been running okay. Like, it's not crazy, but it's okay, basically. Like, we've been doing alright. So no lands. Interesting. Thoughtseize, so they get Gideon, or do they get Settle? They probably get Settle. Yeah. Fine. Approach. Rip. So I don't think they can play Uro again. Pretty good stall right now. Then Field, yeah. Need 4 cards down. If I had Vantress, I'd be okay. Thoughtseize, yeah, they get Gideon. That's off. Enough. Then they get to minus this next turn, unless we rip into like Teferi 5. And even with Teferi 5, I might even draw a card. Well, I don't think I'm dead unless they get like Hasty Boy, like Kenrith or something. As long as they don't have Thoughtseize again, we're fine. If they have Thoughtseize again, we're a little sad. But yeah, settling and then Field of Ruining seems fine. So they get 2 Golos. If they went Karn and then they got Memorial, that would be pretty rough too. That Field of Ruin came into play tapped. That's nice. Yeah, draw 2. Absolutely. So now they have to get something that mills us or that slays us, so we won. Nice. Woo! Woo! The big brain. How to check your streamer point balance? I am not sure. And thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Woo! That was close. Close call. Okay, so what do we need? I don't even know, man. Like, vetoes are okay. They don't stop Golos, though. The problem with them. Ratchet Bomb's nice. And then we do need the Karns. I think this is okay. Probably just gonna bring in more hand hate. This is fine. We could put in another settle if we really wanted to, but I also want proactive plays rather than reactive ones here and there. I think this is okay. Like everything else we can grab with Karn. Like we want the Crucible Karn combo, for sure. They might Necromentia the approach, which would be pretty rough. But, I mean, that's just life. Hopefully we can reversal that. This looks okay, but not too promising. It's just kind of safe, basically. Thoughtseize, yeah, it's fine. We can grab Gideon, Mind Stone, whatever they want, really. They're going to take away the ramp. That's Absorb seems okay. It's a bit slow, though. Probably should have put it back, but I think we got a little bit of time. I mean, not a lot, but a little bit. I'm gonna slow down the ramp here. This might actually help them out a little bit. But I wanted my blue so that way I could absorb next turn, but if they have Golos now, I'm pretty much out of luck, basically. Our promise, oof. That's a big oof, man. That's a big mood. That's 2 Field of the Deads, or Field of the Dead plus that. Oof, oof, oof. They can Field of Ruin my non-basics. Basically a strip mine at this point. Yeah, I don't know. This is rough, man. I have 1 island, nice. A Mind Stone and Gideon here. Just +1 on this dude. That's all I got, man. All I got, dude. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, that's tough. Just drawing all 3 hour promises is pretty insane. Like, they probably run 4, but still. Need Karn. And they can Uro. They're down to 3 cards in the library. They hit another land. They might not play it though. Might hold back. Oh nope, they play it. There's Blast Zone. They get Settle. They take Wrath. Hmm. How many Wraths do I have left, man? Well, if I do this, it's lethal on the backswing. Sure. I think they have quite a few basics left, potentially. Not gonna get much better than this, though, honestly. I guess if they have a lot of basics left, it's pretty bad, but I don't know. We'll have to see. They're out of basics, you think? Yeah. Earl will still draw them cards. Ends their deck. They didn't put one into play. Oh, okay, good call, good call. So they can still swing. And then they swing two there, yep. They don't hit a land. I just need approach, man. 3, 6, 7, 8. Gonna put 2 charge counters here so we can blow up the arrow. In case. I shouldn't be doing this main phase, potentially. Yeah, that's fine. Because now I get to scry and have a little more vision. Yeah, that was great. Okay, so we're gonna blow up the arrow now. Before they get to swing. And now they can swing at my life total. But it's like their draw versus get like 4 health. The trade-off there. Just need to get lucky with like double approach or something here. They're definitely grinding us out though. They get another land as well. The Wrath off the top. We need a Wrath, Settle. Ooze, oh gosh. That's a cool. Alright. Oof. I think this is lethal. Oh. Bro. Pretty sure this is lethal. Yeah. They can also pump ooze, I think. No, maybe not. So... I think vetoes are really good, man. Like, vetoes being able to counter the, what's it called? Hey, and thanks for the raid, Striderstone. How are you doing, man? I'm about to end the stream, though. You get to catch my last game. 18 months, best mod. Nice. I appreciate it, Strider. Thanks, man. And one Grapdiggers could be okay. But, I don't know. Seems a little weak.
Strider Stone just subscribed.
I feel like that's just being a little too cute.
For 18 months, Kappa.
I think they might. I think they have like 2, but I appreciate it, Strider. Thank you, man. Cheers, dude. Thank you for the 18 months. We are now 99. Oh, you're almost the 100th. So close, dude. So close. So close, Strider, but yet so far away. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude. Oop. We're playing some U-White control. We're getting ready for the Uglandia open potentially tomorrow. I think I just play my second Scryland, honestly. And then if they have the Thought Erasure or the Thought Seize, then I can just chill out anyway. You gotta get food? Okay, sounds good, man. I'm about to host someone up too, so I understand. I need food too. Tell her. Okay, sounds good. Nice, nice. Good memes. Yeah, I can play Mind Stone next turn. I want to keep up Absorb just in case. What's thought, Steve? We'll veto that. Because I want to keep Absorb for Golos. If I can. Okay, Uro's fine. Just gonna try to deny them information, basically. If they go Field of the Dead, it's a rough game. Man, my god, he always has it. That's tough. That is super tough. And they want to Field of Ruin this for sure. I can't keep up Absorb if I play Mind Stone. Now I can keep up. This is kind of rough though, because they get to strip mine me basically. Or not strip mine me, but you know, it's not a great look for me. They want to wait until they have Field of the Dead up though before they can Field of Ruin. Yeah, so now they can Field of Ruin for an extra dude and get me off of Vantress. I'm just gonna crack this and draw, honestly. This helps me thin the deck anyway. Probably want blue. Nice. Dun 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 dun. So if I Wrath of God, I can keep up Absorb, but I can't play Karn and protect him. So whatever we grab with Karn has to be worth going for, basically. And I think it might be Uro, the Grapdiggers for Uro. Or Crucible of Worlds for Field of Ruin, but I don't have Field of Ruin yet. So that's like kind of a risky play. Also, if I go with Grapdiggers, then I can't Absorb, which is tough. So now they can just slam whatever they want for a threat, which is tough. Like they can hour promise here and I basically die. Oh god, Blast Zone. Oof. Blast Zone for 1 hurts us a lot. Because now they can just Uro. Hmm. Oh, Jesus. Well. Tried. I guess we just do that, right? Ratchet Bomb? Yeah, Ratchet Bomb would have been okay too. So if I rip into Approach, I win. And I can still Wrath this next turn, but I think they can hold back Field of Ruin and make enough for lethal potentially. Which is stressful, to say the least. That's if they have the basic land, though. I think they only have 1 basic in their deck, so I don't actually think they can. So it's going to be 16 damage here. Wipe the board, and then they can't Uro to recover. Go down to 8. This is good. I still think I need to play my land for the turn anyway, even if it gives them a good target for Field of Ruin. Hour of Promise, probably. What? Thought Distortion? No. Again? They might have a counterspell for this, though. No? Okay. Avenging is fine. I think they're saving the Field of Ruin for when, like, we're about to draw Approach. I'll make a Chumper with it right now. And this does shuffle our Approach, which sucks. But that's life. It can't grow very big, so I might just take this. Guess I could just block, though. I just think it would be better to block for Uro. Dead. Plus I can Blast Zone this or Uro, and it's kind of nice. I think I have to pop this to draw a card. Sure. Come on, Approach. Alright, so hopefully seeing some gameplay and the explanations and everything for the deck kind of give you an idea on whether or not you want to give it a shot. I wouldn't spend a ton of wild cards on it, but if you have plenty of wild cards and you're just chilling out looking for different options, you know, I think it's a good fit. I like it a lot. So I'm going to be tweaking it a little bit over the next few days and probably submitting this list for the Hooglandia Open 5 for tomorrow at 9. I think it's like 9 a.m. Central Time. So I'm going to be playing it then. So if you want to tune into my stream and check it out, feel free to. The link's down below. Also exportable link. And yeah, so I put up a new YouTube video every single day. If you want to hit subscribe when the end screen comes up, it'll be like my face or whatever. It really helps the channel out. And then there's going to be like a next video button too. So if you want to check out some more content. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.